Hi, I'm Jim Gordon, and you're watching Market 1 Minute. Joining us is John Proust, Chairman and CEO of Japan Gold Corporation. John, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure to be with you.
You're quite welcome and good to have you. Okay, Japan seems like a unique opportunity for mineral exploration. Can you tell us more about that?
Well, Japan is a very unique country because it has several of the key ingredients that major mining companies would be looking for. One is that it has some of the best geology in the world. It's in an ideal geological setting.
Right.
The second piece is that geopolitically, it's one of the safest countries in the world, and that's so important today. But probably most importantly, it's had a rich history of high-grade gold mining. The gold mining industry was stopped by the government in the middle of the Second World War in 1943 in order to use the miners in other attributes like base metal mining and factories. And it really has not restarted since then in large part. And that presents a wonderful opportunity for Japan Gold to step in and restart that industry and make new discoveries.
Let's talk about how Japan Gold is organized in Japan.
Absolutely. The mining law in Japan changed in 2012 to allow for the first time foreign companies to come into Japan. So Japan Gold was the first company to code to Japan under this change in the mining law. And when we went there, we had a choice to make. We could either operate through Japanese companies that were established in the country, or we could build our own organization. And we elected to build our own organization. So currently now in Japan, we have geologists, field assistants, a permitting group. We bought 4 of our own diamond core drilling machines, imported them into Japan, and ultimately we built a drilling division of 22 people. But we're fully operational across the country. And we base ourselves in the North Island of Japan, which is Hokkaido, and we have a second base in the Southern Island of Japan, Kyushu, and then we have our operational office in Tokyo.
And how has the company adapted to the pandemic?
The pandemic hit Japan very early. Very early on, we designed a COVID-19 operating plan. Okay. We sought input from some of our partners like Therick, and we implemented that very, very carefully. And to give you an example, if we were ever sending team members into rural areas, there would have been a 14-day self-isolation. So we really were mindful of not only the health and safety of our workers, but also importantly, the health and safety of the communities within which we operate. Because travel restrictions stopped us from bringing people into the country, we adapted by seeking out more Japanese contractors. So we found groups that were very strong and able to do the geophysics work for us, like JX Nippon, Sumitomo. We have a very strong relationship with them. And then also we identified local Japanese drilling contractors that could also initiate our drilling programs this year, and we're already underway.
Tell us about the Therick Alliance.
We've been very fortunate that after our review of the whole country, we identified the key areas that we wanted to go after. Ultimately, we've picked up 31 projects across Japan, and those 31 projects cover over 40 of those closed gold mines, and the vast majority of all the low sulfidation gold mines like the Hishikari gold mine. The Therick Alliance was born out of the quality of our portfolio and the qualities that Japan really brings to the table. And it was a very competitive process. We decided with this large portfolio that we'd need to bring a partner or multiple partners in to work with us to really take on the whole country and make new discoveries. So on February 24th of this year at the BMO conference in Florida, Mark Bristow, the CEO of Therick, announced a countrywide alliance with Japan Gold on 29 of our 31 projects. So to give you an example, if we find anything new, it'll go into the alliance, as well as 29 of those projects that are included. If Therick finds something new, that would be offered to the alliance as well. So we're working very, very closely together. To take it further, we basically negotiated 2 things. One was a clear freedom of information. So as developments happen with our alliance, as we make discoveries or there's new programs, we can announce those to our shareholders and to the marketplace, so we're not restricted. The second thing is there's a 2-year timetable from February 24th of this year to evaluate all 29 projects. And so that's moving along very well, and that's fully funded by Therick, but with us acting as the operator because of our operational capabilities in country. At the end of the 2 years, or even before, Barrick can either exclude a project if it doesn't meet their criterion, but we have those projects 100%, so we have the data that's being accumulated, and we can either advance those ourselves or bring in other third parties. And there's quite a number of other third parties that have expressed interest in that. If we want to go forward, or Barrick wants to go forward with the project, in order for them to earn an interest, they have to get a pre-feasibility study completed to get to 51%, and then to get to 75%, they have to fully fund a bankable feasibility study, which puts us in a very strong position of still retaining a 25% interest in a new project that's going towards production. So we're very, very pleased about that.
And tell us how Barrick Alliance is advancing.
You know, we're really excited as a junior company because Barrick is taking this on in a very, very serious way. So first of all, one point is that the Barrick Alliance is led by two committees. So we have a technical committee and we have an executive committee with Barrick. And their top technical people are on our technical committee, and their top executives from their executive group are on our executive committee. So they're really putting significant attention into what's happening in Japan. So we are currently completing geophysics and geochemistry evaluations of all 29 projects. When you think about it, 29 of those projects cover 1,500 square kilometers. And the Barrick Alliance will have this wonderful overview of the whole country of evaluating those 29 projects, and that will really help us pinpoint on the areas that we want to focus on.
Japan Gold has two of the biggest gold producers in the world involved. That would be Barrick and Newmont. Tell us what this means to the country of Japan.
We're very fortunate that we have the two largest gold producers in the world deeply embedded in our company, first of all. Newmont owns a significant equity stake in Japan Gold, and then of course we have the Barrick Countrywide Alliance. So that's really important. But to take it back a step, the mining law changed in 2012. And so the government of Japan changed the mining law in the hopes that they could attract foreign explorers into Japan to restart the industry after it was closed in 1943. They were hoping for the stimulus of the two rural economies. And so basically what they've seen now is that by Japan Gold as the junior quickly moving into Japan by Japanese standards and advancing to acquire this significant portfolio, that we've been able to validate this thesis by attracting the two major gold mining companies into Japan. And so the government, I think their whole reason for changing the mining law has been validated, just as our portfolio of projects has been validated by the two majors.
That's fascinating stuff, John. We thank you for joining us today.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jim Gordon. Thanks for watching this Market 1 Minute on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with other videos that we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click on this list to see other great videos from Market 1. And thank you again for watching.